What's up, guys? We're up in the Berkshires. We're at my family's cabin out here. Like I said yesterday on the way up, it's about 7 a.m. Beautiful out, probably like 55, 60 degrees, nice and chilly. Saw a couple deer up the driveway, coming up the driveway last night. And so we're gonna get after it for a little bit. I have to do a shorter scout this morning, and then hopefully when we get back from the country fair later, I'll be able to get out for maybe 5-6 hours and really get into those deeper spots that I'm looking to get to. So in the meantime, I have a handful of spots that I want to get to now that we're gonna go check out. So bear with me here. So it's pretty crazy. I don't usually get up here this early in the season to actually scout before I come out hunting. It's just a three-plus hour drive from my house in Maine, so it's really overgrown. It's pretty crazy because all the trails that you normally follow are all just almost not even visible right now. But it's also nice and wet up here, and because there's so much growth, should be able to actually identify some clear deer runs a little bit easier. At the same time, not as easy as it is when there's snow on the ground. So this is one of our trails. I'm working my way up to this peak, and then it drops into a nice valley. Wouldn't necessarily call it a saddle. It's close to, but it's far enough apart. Our two peaks that I'd consider it more just a valley, but they're rock walls that line the property lines. And these deer are always running those walls, and there are little kind of gaps in the wall here and there where the wall's toppled over, where deer are always cutting through and traveling through. So I know there's a nice spot in that valley where it gets fairly dense, and that's usually a good feeding area. And there's a field that they graze in, probably about 150 to 200 yards from that. No, I hear something walking in the woods over there. We're gonna go take a look. So right here, we've got a south-facing hill. Well, east-southeast facing hill here. That during the winters, real nice because it's pretty steep. We'll have deer bed up on the top ridge here, where the sun gets them nice and early in the morning. But I hear something down on that edge, so we're gonna take a look, like I said. Well, Like I said, there was definitely a deer there. I'm not sure if the microphone picked it up, but we did just get blown out. Blown like crazy. They're not happy. There's a couple of them blowing at each other. They're going back and forth. It's too dense to get a shot on them, like a view. I've been blown out before, but never like that. There are at least 2 deer down there. One smaller, one significantly bigger. I'm assuming, oh, they're still going. They're right at the bottom of this ridge here, this cliffside. They're going that way. There's a street about maybe half a mile, a little bit more down there. And the woods are just so dense right now. I was probably 50 yards away from them, maybe less. They're behind this big rock here. They're still blowing at me. They're running 50 yards, stopping, blowing. Moving another 10, 15 yards, stop, blowing. Still going. I think what I'm going to do is go back up and around. And they usually won't cross that street in the daylight. Let's see if I can maybe get to a slightly more open area. Or bear scat. So, I don't know enough about bears and bear hunting. What I know about deer is that a lot of shit means that that's where they're spending a lot of time. So I'm assuming we're probably, again, I know there's a couple families of bear on the property, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it's probably safe to assume that we're within its home range here, which honestly makes me want to kind of get the fuck out of here a little bit. But we're gonna push down towards the field over here, and that's where we're gonna go look for some scrapes, or for excuse me, some rubs. So we'll keep moving. You can probably see why the deer love this field, and they did actually cut it at some point, which is pretty wild. But the tree I like to get into is right here, because they come out through here, and they'll come out over here, and they mosey around in here, just graze. And this is that island my brother was sitting in when he heard a huge grunt come in from over here, and I shot that buck way on the other side of this field. But deer love this field, these islands. There's a big hill as well, kind of keeps them covered. There's a street, only maybe 200 yards over there. It's pretty open once you get past this little island. So we just came up off that field. This little opening here makes a nice little pinch point for them to come up through. Now, you can see it's thick in here. That's why it's always so hard to get set up, but I'm thinking just because public land, not cutting shooting lanes. But again, most of this greenery, like not the, obviously the carnivorous shit, but none of this shit, this is all gone come the season. If I can get myself into a position where I at least got a shot down in here, I'm thinking this tree could do a nice shot down into here. I know they'll cut through here. You might even see some tracks in there. We'll take a look. But if I can get a shot down here, and again, just on this little trail right here, so maybe even this tree is the move. Get up in that corner there, or you can shoot this way, you can shoot down there, I'll be able to shoot that way. And that's what I'm thinking. We'll check for footprints in a second, but I think this tree's the move. And then I can get shot off into there. It's gonna be tight, but I should be able to get a shot off into here. And they'll have this little runway, but it's tight. I'm gonna be looking for a tight window to shoot in. See this footprints, they come right through here. Decent sized deer track too. Look at that guy. This was a big goal for me, to try to get a tree I could sit in. That's in this area here. I'm even thinking maybe this tree right here. So I can get up in there, get up by that Y where it splits off. That'll give me a clear shot this way. But once I hit this hemlock, it starts to get a little shitty. Now I will climb a hemlock, but you gotta get in here real early, otherwise making a whole lot of noise. But I'm gonna look for some rubs down in here, and I'm gonna work my way to that bigger swamp back there. And I'll keep that tree as an option as well. I love the woods. Love everything about the woods. I think the coolest thing about removing yourself from life for a little bit and getting out into the woods and doing what we're doing, hunting, scouting, is the fact that you just, all of your senses almost seem heightened. It's like you're using everything. You're hearing, right? You're looking for little sticks breaking, fucking nuts falling, branches cracking, the trees moving, eyes. You're looking for any motion, any flash of white, anything at all. Your nose, I swear, gets more sensitive. You walk in the woods, kind of clean your nasal cavity. And I say this because as I was walking through here, I'm following this deer run. There's that buck smell, that how do I say it, that smell, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's real intense during the rut. But I'm sitting here, kind of listening, looking, breathing, and I just got hit in the face with it. I'm like, okay. So I checked the winds. There is no wind. Could be my nose playing tricks on me, maybe, but I know that smell. It's very, 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 oh, yeah, see, I got it again. And this is where I'm pushing down into this swamp here. I know the swamp's probably 200 yards that way, but I know that smell. I love that smell. It's like a fucking pheromone for hunters. Get you going. So, there's some running water. so much, but right now when water's a little bit more scarce, you know, this is where they'll be spending time. But also gives us a bit of insight into where we need to be. There's some deer tracks coming right through here. This is where that swamp starts to open up. So I'm gonna head up over that edge there. Quite a bit of beaver sign in here too. I'm thinking these bucks will be on this backside of the swamp. So that's where I'm headed. And then I'm gonna make a turn back, move a lot quicker, get back and work my way back to the house. We had to get out to the Cummington fair with the boys today. I wanted to get out here early this morning and mark my tree over where I know I want to be for sure, and then check out the backside of this swamp, which I haven't actually been down to yet. So, oh, there's a huge deer. I knew I heard him in here, but didn't realize I was that close to him. That was a big deer. I couldn't tell if there was a rack on it or not, but that was a big deer. Put the camera down, take out the binoculars for see if I can't get some eyes on it. That was a different deer. That was a doe. She's definitely not happy with me being in her spot over here. Looks like they've got themselves a little path right through here. And clearly an escape route through here. And I'm just going to poke my head up over this edge here and then again keep walking down the edge, see what I can find. Beaver's working on that tree. Finally found a rub line. It looks like it was last year. He was just working his way through here. Some are older, some are not this year new. Because obviously, I don't think they're rubbing quite yet. But this is clearly his path. This is on that back side of the swamp. This is where I was trying to get to. I'm on my way back right now. Following the bottom of the hill that we came in on. And I'm just, wind's in my face. And I just smell buck. I know that smell. I love that smell. And it's just flooding in. So I'm thinking, I'm on this little deer run right here. I'm thinking it could be down in this low area. Again, I don't know. But I'm just getting, I smell them constantly right now. Oh, I love that smell. I've been moving pretty quick to get back. Caught that whiff. Caught about 3-4 minutes ago. Slowed down, like confirming. It just keeps coming. Oh, that wind feels good.